Here we are, a Rise, Grind, Repeat podcast, episode 4, with good friend, fellow entrepreneur, and strength coach, Pete Asadourian. How are you, buddy? It's been a while.
What's up, man? It's good to be here. Excited to be here. I'm pretty pumped. Great little studio. Ready to get going here with you.
Yeah. So it's a lot's changed since the last time we've talked. It's been a few months. You got a new facility that we'll get into as well. But just want to we met back when you were coaching high school basketball at Rocky Hill, and I started coaching varsity ice hockey at Enfield, and I was looking to bring in somebody to help train my players pre-season, and my wife worked at Rocky Hill and mentioned you, and we connected, and it was
been a good relationship, Joe, ever since.
Yeah.
So, man. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, that was a good point. Like in my business, we were early on, just starting out. Shoot, I think that was probably 04 maybe, maybe 05.
Yeah, I
right
think
around there.
I think it was like 07 maybe. It was
I tell you, man, just time flies, and we're now we're going on. I mentioned you before we even went on that this is our 20th year in business, so we're celebrating 20 years of just like really helping the athletes and general population of people. So it's great. We're excited about it, and like you mentioned that we've got a lot of new things going on, our new facility, and just a lot of shaking and baking going on here.
Just to let the audience know, and Tim, Pete, aside from high school athletes, he also has coached various collegiate athletes and pro athletes specifically. I mean, two-time Stanley Cup champion Nick Bonino, Stanley Cup champion Ron Hainsey. You got George Springer, who MVP World Series champion too. I mean, those aren't small names,
been very fortunate throughout like my career and just in business, and the biggest thing is making relationships, and I think that's what we've done is like created relationships with our clients and just letting them know that we're there for them and just being real and giving them results. We have a obviously a scientific approach to what we do, and we focus and we constantly change and manipulate our workouts to really focus on the individual in their sport. So it's awesome. It's it's really surreal. Like, and just throw this out there. I'm driving in the car, and Hainsey called the other day, and there my 10-year-old son is in the backseat of the car, and he starts talking to him. So we hang up, and I'm just like, Tyson, do you realize like what you just did? And like, not too many 10-year-olds can sit there and talk to the starting defenseman for the Toronto Maple Leafs.
Right.
And I'm just like, that's surreal. That's a surreal moment. And those moments still become surreal for me, when I'm hanging out with them, when they're coming into my gym, they're real people, they're everyday people, and it's great. Like I said, I'm very fortunate, and it's a good opportunity for me. It's been awesome.
Yeah, the one thing too I'll add to that is every time I've come in to see you or whatever, even just to talk, and I've come across them and just seeing them work out. They'll be working out with high schoolers and other college players, and they treat them with such respect, and they help them, and it's just it's a great atmosphere. It's like you wouldn't know that they're professional athletes. I mean, they're just great.
Yeah, and those guys have been like a solid foundation for my business and growing my business, and just being able to say like, hey, we have Nick Bonino's been with us since his senior year in high school.
Yeah.
And it goes down the line. Like Hainsey's been with us for 18 years, so it's a constant. Again, they help develop all the. Build that base, and all these younger kids come, and the high school kids come, and so it's a great opportunity for me.
Yeah. Now, I've never asked you this either. Was what got you into starting your own business, right. And
No, what really got me into it, I was coaching high school basketball, and like really, the fella John RiZe, he's like I say it all the time, he's a mentor, and one of my mentors, I had several, but I was coaching him out in Rockville. He saw I had a passion for coaching basketball, and just really coaching and helping kids, and that passion just kind of spooled over to like, hey Pete, and I had my personal training certificate at the time, like a real basic one. And he's like, hey, take the kids into the guys in the weight room and start working them out. And I worked in a gym, and I'm just like, wow, this is kind of cool. Maybe I'll do sport specific training. Instead of being a personal trainer, I'm really gonna say, hey, I'm going to do sports-specific training. So that's one thing led to another. I started advertising myself as a sports-specific trainer where I wanted to help athletes, and and then it kind of just domino. But I'll tell you what, like there's a lot of criticism obviously in business and stuff. When I first started, people were like, hey, you're nuts, Pete. And I just got a call the other day from someone that 20 years ago that had something to do with business, and he was like, I can't believe you're still in business. So it's calls like that, it's things like that. I know what I do, and what we do, and it's how we do things. So it's just it's been a good road, man. As far as that goes.
Yeah, and it's funny because I look at you, and it's and where you start, or where our relationship started, and the fact that you're still doing it, and it's great that you get those naysayers and you still push through, and it's like, hey, this is your purpose, and you've made such an impact on so many people, and even the students and the players that I coach and Enfield High, a few of them went to you even after after they left our program.
Mm-hmm.
So it was just great to see that you made and the guys that helped as well train them. You made an impact because they found value and went back to you.
Yeah, I mean. Just like what you guys do, like anything you do, like we're gonna do it with quality.
Yeah.
Like I'm not just gonna go through the motions with someone. I want to make an impact on them. I want to know, like, hey, I went to Pete or I went to Future Fitness, and these guys changed my life. They changed my career. Like, why else are you coming there? So that's how I go into things. Thinking I'm gonna work hard for you. You're paying me. I'm gonna work hard for you.
Yeah. And I think that's what's great. Like the putting together sports specific programs so if you're a tennis player, you're going to have a different workout than a hockey player versus a basketball player, and it's going to be when I watch some of the athletes that you train, it's like they're doing motions and different activities that they would do in that particular sport, which is something that I haven't seen with any other strength coach or trainer that I've come across. So it's really great to see.
Right. It's got basically just taking a sport and bringing it into the weight room. What movements are they going through? How to, and I'm big with hips and core. Like that's where all your power is diverted from. No matter what sport you have to have like good hip flexibility, good hip mobility. It's going to help you with running, your gait and all that stuff. So when you're coming in to work with us, those are the things that we're looking at. So
that's cool. Yeah. And then I'm not sure when we had met, you had started the pro hockey camp as well, but I think that was a few years prior. So how many years
we did that? Yeah, that was a great run, and you actually sponsored it, Hockey Still. It was a big part of that for a number of years, and we did 15 years, and it was a great camp. It was a great run. Last year was the first year we didn't do it.
Okay.
And, basically a little quick background on the camp is that and people would always get kind of like misunderstood a little bit about the camp. They thought it was more for kids, but it's not for kids. It was actually for high-level hockey players. We had NHL guys there. We had college kids there. And then, high-level prep school right down the line, junior players. And they worked out for the week. We fed them breakfast. We did their laundry. We gave them lunch. We put guys up if they had to, if they were coming in. We had guys coming from, like, out of the country, from different countries to, spend a week with us. And, chiropractic service.
Yeah. Yoga? Didn't you?
We had yoga. Athletic trainers. We had tape for them. So we really tried to model how do they go, like, when they go to their NHL camps, when they go to their every day when they go to practice, what experiences do they have? So we wanted to take those same experiences and bring it in here. We had a coffee machine going. We had protein shakes for them. We had supplementation. So it was great. And, and as time goes, obviously, there's less pro guys around. And, these guys retire. And, I always use the word they get washed up. And, we just do our, they go their separate ways. But, the last year, Keith Elaine, the head coach of Yale, national championship coach, he was our on-ice coach. And, it was great, to have that caliber coach out there, working with these guys. But it was good. It gave us some, good publicity, and we just rode with it. And that was a solid staple. And again, to revert back, those guys helped build that. Like Bonino, Hainsey, helped build that. So the last year we did it, actually, Nick did a signing. It was the year he won the cup, and he did a signing. We had over 600 people in attendance.
It's amazing.
We ended up giving, I think we gave like $1,500 to the Children's Hospital. So it was good. Like, it was a charitable event. So, that was the whole thing on this. So we're working now to some of the guys, the alumni guys that are washed up, are working together. We're trying to build up, get in contact with all the old campers from over 15 years, and we're trying to do a alumni game.
Oh, that's great.
So that'll be cool to and when we did it, like, people didn't realize, like, you have NHL guys, like, skating in, like, Newington Arena, like,
right in Newington, Connecticut. It's like,
in, like, we had Shattenkirk from the Rangers, like, and again, like this, Jordan Samuels,
Newberry,
Newberry, Nickerson, Colin McDonald, like, just top guys, like, that are still playing, that are still active and stuff. So it's fun. It's good. It's a good ride, man.
Yeah. Now you guys changed locations. Now you guys moved facilities.
So we have 2 now. So we're still in our Newington. Okay. We're still in the Newington Arena. That's like our little mothership, if you will.
Yeah.
And then we were fortunate to get an opportunity back in May. We linked up with Kevin Rival. He's a former pro baseball player, and Chris Darby. They own ATI, and ATI is Athlete Training Institute, where they provide baseball services for kids at baseball teams, AAU level. And we teamed up and built a 4,000 square foot facility with turf, 100 feet of turf, all state-of-the-art equipment. It's cool. It's like really what I've been trying to do, like, for the past 20 years, and it's kind of, it's not weird, but, like, it's like it's kind of like, hey, this is your 20th. This is it, man. This is what you've been working for.
It's like the culmination of all the hard work,
I guess, if you want to say that. But it's still hard work, though, man. It is what it is. You just, it's a grind, man. You got to rise and grind.
Rise and grind. Well, that's what it is. It's like, as much as it's a struggle or whatever, it's like it's the journey. It's this piece right now that you'll look back on and go, man, that was hard work, but it was worth it.
Like, I always say, go 9 to 5, man. Make it. But then I look at, like, I don't think I'm 9 to 5.
Yeah. But most entrepreneurs aren't. You gotta put the hustle in.
Yeah, and that's the hustle. But, like, you get down on it, like, from the emotional level too. It's like, it's only you, like, it's only me, on this journey, and it's got to be like, you got to be able to identify and be able to figure out what paths and what turns you got to take, and you can't really ask anyone. Like, you can ask people, you can talk, but it's like, it's only you. You got to be able to figure it out internally. So I think over, like, for me personally, like, over the period of time, like, through business, through life, and, like, all the challenges through my life and everything, I think, finally now I'm, like, identifying that, like, all right, dude, it's only you, brother.
Yeah.
Like, you gotta.
Well, that's the thing too. It's like, just like you were saying before, it's like the naysayers. It's like, they'll try and, even though they're probably trying to help you and, like, hey man, what are you doing? And it's really, they're not aware of it. But what I'm finding out in my journey, it's like they're just, it's a reflection of them. It's like it might be their insecurity or something that a risk or chance that they didn't take. So it's commendable that it's like you just kept pursuing and push through it.
There's plenty of times when you want to, like, throw in the towel, but just gotta go, dude.
Gotta keep going.
Just grind. I always tell people, like, I'm like a car that runs with no oil. Like, I'll just, like, be pulled over one day on the side of the road, man.
Steaming.
That's when I'm gonna stop, dude. You know what I mean? That's it. So
yeah.
But it's again, it's why we do it, I guess.
Yeah.
It's just it's like a drug.
So I want to bring up last year I brought my boys to you for training, and their perspective on they the sports that they play now, it's like they want nothing to do with practice.
Right.
So what do you sometimes it was pulling teeth to get them to go,
Sure.
and they're on the younger side. I mean, Nicholas is 12, but still it's like you want to encourage them to do something other than just go to practice, whatever. It's like, what else can they do, strength wise? But what do you get from what do you see in a lot of the youth today, talking about, like, elementary school youth that you train specifically?
I just think it's like a culture, man. Like, the culture now is just it's like very lazy. I think the internet, I think the social media, I think those things play a major effect. dude, I'm guilty of it. Like, you know, the kids are on the iPads. It's like a babysitter, you know what I mean? But, like, you know, what are they watching? I know, you know, Tyson's watching highlights. I don't really mind it. You know what I mean? It's like, what are they watching? You monitor it. But, like, I think those things, like, when we were kids, like, we were out in the yard. Like, we were playing wiffle ball, kickball. Like, we were fighting people. I don't know. Like, we were just, like, playing stick hockey and, like, just being a kid and, like, going through kid experiences and being able to figure things out. And I think nowadays with these kids, it's just their parents are figuring out for them. Like, they want to figure it out instead of like, no, man, you figure it out, dude. Like, you figure out how to put your shoes on. Like, you're a grown man. Like, you're 10 years old, dude. Like, I'm not going to tie your shoes for you. Like, come on. You know, so it's those things that, like, I think there's an enabling process. Like, these people are enabling. And, you know, it's not everyone. I'm not saying it's a whole generational thing. But, again, it's... We've been finding that, so since we started our new facility, we offer classes, athlete training classes. So we're bringing the younger kids in. So similar to the classes that I think you brought your boys to. I know they were coming in on a 2-on-1 type basis, but I think you brought them to a class.
Yep.
But similar to that, but again, we have more room to go. And what we're finding is that these kids are having fun because we have a big area. Mm-hmm. We're letting them push a prowler, the sleds. You know, they're hitting the ropes. We have small enough tires for them to flip. So we have 14 on our class. We have 15 on our classes. And obviously with the 15 and older kids, we're doing different things. We start incorporating strength training. But again, if we can get these kids in some results and then send them back to their respective sport, and now they're better. They're making better contact with the ball. They're running better. They're competing better. But there's also the kid that just doesn't want to do it.
Yeah.
And the parents want them to do it. And that sucks.
Yeah.
You know, if you don't want to do it, dude, go find something. I always told my kids, you're going to find an activity. I don't care if it's sport, piano, hey, whatever it is, you're going to find something and you're going to be pretty damn good at it.
Yeah.
And that's it, because everybody can be good at something if you put your mind to it.
Yeah.
So I'm not asking you to be good at 100 things. I'm asking you to be good at one thing. Be good at school. Be good at your sport. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You could be a good person. 3 things, but you know what I mean? You know, it's just, I think that's the way you have to program kids, and I don't think kids are being programmed the right way. It's an everyday thing, man. You got to refocus your teams every day. You got to refocus your athletes every day. You need to refocus every day.
Every day.
I need to. We do. And it's like, I don't think kids don't, parents sometimes take that for granted.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Now, for your...
just went off on a tangent.
No, that's great. No, that's great, because I wanted to ask Tim, because your son's similar age as
he's
my
12,
oldest.
And, he does sample different sports, and there is more media use than my childhood, but we're trying to keep a balance too.
Right.
And I agree. There's going to be things that he excels at, and that's his 1 or 2 things.
Right.
And it's not overscheduling him to do everything.
Right.
Part of it is letting him fail at life at certain areas.
You gotta fail, dude.
And that's how you learn.
Yeah. It's funny you mentioned, because I was talking to Sandy, and we were saying how, because the winters here are obviously long and you're indoors for so long, and for them to they can't just go outside and play with the neighborhood kids or whatever. So it's tough to because you have to find an activity, pay for it depending on what it is. But even when the weather's nice out, it's, to your point, it's like we used to, and this is before cell phones and all that stuff. It's like somehow we figured out how to organize a street hockey game or a wiffle ball game. It's like we would meet at the park, and you just don't see that.
30 kids rolling.
30, yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. And it's like,
I don't have that anymore.
Yeah, and it's it's just sad that's not the case, and but again, there's just so many different challenges with with iPhones and video games and stuff like that. Right. But yeah, it's definitely. But I'm with you as far as trying different sports. If whatever doesn't take, if it's an instrument, just do something, yeah.
It's just like, too, I tell people, and they think, they probably think I'm like off the hook, but like, you're a hockey guy. Tyson plays hockey.
Yeah.
Like, dude, you better be good at it. Like, don't waste my time.
Yeah.
Like, you can go to like a park and rec situation where we don't have to like spend a lot of money, but if I'm going to put forth literally thousands of dollars for you to play the sport, man, you better be 1, 2, or 3 on the team, or you're coming off. Dude.
Yeah.
And then, but like, he accepts it because I know he can do it. Like, I know internally he has that. And so I just want to get that out of my kids. I want to get that out of you. I want to get out of you. Like, anyone that like I come in contact with, I know that you can you have something in you, so just find it, bring it out, man.
I'm ready to run through a wall for you, Pete, right now. Let's go. Well, that's the thing too. When you were training, the high school players, man, it was like it was just great to see. Like it was just, and they weren't used to that. Like I took over a team that was, I mean, they were like the Bad News Bears. I mean, their record, I think the year before was like 2-18.
You took them to the States, right?
Yeah,
Second,
yeah. That year that you guys came, the first year was kind of a feeling out year. We still made the playoffs. It was like the first time in 10 years that they made the playoffs.
Yeah.
I think it was like we were 9-11. So that qualified us. But I knew when I took over that next year, I had a great group of seniors. We had a great freshman, Robbie Belageron, and it was just a great chemistry. But I think kicking the season off, having you there, and the first couple of days that nobody wanted to be there. They're like, "What's this? We're running. Planks. What do we do? And actually, that was my first introduction to planks.
Yeah.
And you probably don't even remember.
No, we did it. Yeah, we did the testing.
Do you remember who did the?
Did you do
the longest? No, I didn't do it with
them.
them. I didn't do a plank until last year. My first plank was last year. But
I don't know who did it the longest. I can't remember.
So it was a freshman. But what kind of blew my mind was that all the kids started bailing after like 3 minutes. 3 minutes was like capped out. Some capped out earlier, but it was like around the 2.5, 3 minute mark.
Right.
But one freshman went for 7 minutes.
Right.
And it was like, I'm like, that must be good because there was a huge drop off between that one kid. But
it's all mental, man. That's what and that's a big. My background is sociology and psychology. That's what I have my degree in. So I kind of like translate all that into like when I'm training my athletes. Like each kid needs to be trained differently. Each kid you coach in hockey needs to be coached differently. If you're not going to coach each kid, you have to customize a coaching plan for each kid. Yeah. And if you want to be successful, and that's. I think for me, that's my philosophy, and that's what makes me different, man. I want to be different than everyone. I want to be like, I deviate from the norms. I say it all the time, like just to be different. And because if you're different and you create change, I think it'll initiate success. So.
Yep. Yeah, you're pushing. You're pushing people to stretch and grow. That's the only way you're going to grow, unless you're not doing the cookie cutter, workout routine. And
right. So
that's great. And so even aside from that, so you also have programs for adults, and you have the boot camp still running.
So I'd say probably like 7-8 years ago, I bought a boot camp from a fella. He was moving out of state, so it was established. So I went in, I got it, and we renamed it RockFit Boot Camp. It's still going now, so we have that. We have classes, for adults. So you just don't have to be an athlete to come. Like we work with, straight across the board. Whatever your goals are, your fitness needs. It's just about creating a healthy lifestyle and just being able to, teach them about nutrition and just kind of like, just again, like how you're gonna wake up every day and eat. Like if you're gonna come and work out for 45 minutes to an hour and then go home and eat like crap. Like, dude, we got an issue, man. You're gonna be on a hamster wheel. But what are you gonna change different? Are you drinking 6 diet sodas a day? Okay, well, let's start with dropping off 5 and maybe drink 1, and you're gonna see a difference in yourself. So like if you start taking things back and start portion control and doing little things and cutting your sugar out and all the processed stuff, I mean, you're gonna see a difference in like a week, dude. I promise. Like it's. Just cutting out those simple things, it'll make your body feel better. Like your body's like a temple, man. We talk about it all the time and like how it works, and so you got to be able to, function. So.
Yeah, and that's a good approach too. Like incrementally, just taking. If you're drinking 6, drink 5. Right. And it's just slowly, and that's at least for the changes I made. That's been effective because it's like you're just not doing things like cold turkey and doing all these things at the same time, which it's you're probably going to fail. You're going to revert back because it's so drastic, But if you just slowly, incrementally make those changes, then you should.
So, like, just to elaborate a little more, like slowly making those changes. What people do, they'll go like balls to the wall, like, we're dieting. Didn't eat nothing all day.
Yeah.
Blah blah blah. You've heard it, man. We hear it all the time, and it's like you can't do it that way. Incrementally, like you're saying, little by little. Do it Like they say 2 weeks to create a change in your life. Like just be consistent and then create good habits, and you're not going to do it overnight. It's the people that crash and they just go to the grocery store and they're like, all right, yeah, healthy day, blah, blah, blah. They get all this stuff and it's done. Like they're going to be done in a week.
Yeah.
I promise you, not even a week.
Yeah.
Because you're not going to be disciplined, like little by little.
It's funny. I'm doing the intermittent fasting, and that's totally changed my life and helped with inflammation, a lot of different things. But and portion control and a lot of other things. But one of the things that I liked about it initially was you could kind of eat anything.
Right.
So it was less of like a diet per se, because it's like, okay, as long as I don't eat between this window, I can have anything I want. So, again, I wouldn't overindulge, but I know, okay, I can have a slice of pizza or whatever, and it was okay. Like I knew outside that window, tomorrow if I wanted to have something else, like a peanut butter, and jelly sandwich or something else, right. I can still have it. But what that did was help me first, like get in motion to get that my health back in order, my weight control and stuff like that, and the inflammation, and then slowly I started switching those foods out for more healthier foods, because you see the results and you're like, wow, geez, if I'm doing this and having a cheeseburger, what could I do if I had fruits something and vegetables and something that's healthy, so. So, when you were a youth, what did you play? What sports did you play?
So I was a fat kid, man.
Okay.
Did you ever know that, Joe?
No, I never knew that. I was too. So
I'm 185-ish, 90 right now, and I was about 185 in 6th grade.
Wow.
So, like, once 6th grade hit, like, I played all the sports, baseball, basketball, but I always had the dream, and I tell everyone, like, I had a dream of being a professional athlete, just like you probably had a dream of being a hockey player. Yeah. Like, every little kid has a dream, whatever your sport is. But, like, I always tell people, like, my dream kind of came true because I'm working with pro athletes. Like, obviously, I didn't have the skill enough to become a professional athlete, but I kind of took the road where, like, I still want to be in this professional limelight. How can I put myself here? How can I do that? So I think, I created the path, and, like, it got me there. So it's just, like, I feel pretty good about that, being able to still, work with those guys. And, that's kind of...
manifested it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. There you go. Good word.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it's the journey we're on, No, that's great.
It does seem like you found a path that's purpose-driven, but helping other people, too.
Yeah.
And right in the sweet spot of psychology and strength training.
Yep. Yeah, it's, So, my grandfather was an Armenian priest. Okay. And my dad was very, he was a deacon, archdeacon. My uncle was a archdeacon. My other uncle's a deacon. So, like, on my dad's side, it was very religious. They always help people. And I think it's just something within me, like, something that we have, I guess. It's just, I saw, like, what my dad did for people, and, like, bending over backwards for him, and, like, always doing stuff, and, like, just grinding. I saw my dad grind. I think you're a product of your environment. You know what I mean? So it's just like, that's how I look at it,
Yeah. And we had a, conversation a couple of years ago, like, after your dad passed away, my dad passed away, and you had told me a story about how, it's kind of a spiritual story where I forget who, like, somebody... your dad kind of spoke through somebody else,
yeah. There was some.
If you don't mind sharing,
Yeah, no, I'll talk about it. It's I had a client that came in, a friend that came in contact with me over a number of years, and he kind of just, he came in back into my life. This guy, and he kind of just talked to me, like, my dad. He was telling me things about my dad that I didn't really even know about, and, like, he was just saying certain things, and it was just, like, really made me realize that, like, maybe this dude is with me every day, like, my dad, and it's just, like, again, some of the things, like, I'll give you one example, like, we were out in the parking lot, and he was just like, yeah, I see your dad right now, he's in a Charger, and he's just, like, shifting it into gear, and he's dropping it, shifting, drop, shift, drop, and he's just saying, go easy, and then, like, dude, I just lost it. I'm just like, holy shit, dude, like, my dad told me to go easy every day, like, in my life, and it's like, are you fucking kidding me right now? Like, this guy's, like...
Yeah.
And then, like, he didn't know my dad, he didn't know anything, and then I was just like, see you, dude, like, I gotta go.
That's,
I mean? Now I have a tattoo on my side of go easy.
Go easy. But that's not chance.
Is another story that involves Chris Newberry. Maybe we'll get to that on the next episode.
Okay. But that's there's got to be. I do believe there's something to that.
I mean, yeah, there's something to it, but like there's a part of me too that like I'm not there yet.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm not like, yeah, dude, I've seen signs. I know he's there. I know he's got me. Like, you know what I mean? He's there. But like, I don't know. It's always that like hard to believe side of things, like where, you know, unless you're there, unless you go and you're really going to find, that's the only way we're going to ever know, right? But there's definitely signs. There's like certainly signs. And I don't know if those signs are the spiritual signs or those are coincidental signs. You know what I mean? That's what you got to like weigh out. Are we that focused on, you know, like our dads, and like, are we that focused on trying to receive that message from them or something? Are we searching for that? So when we see key things that remind us of them, is that us saying, I don't know, you know what I mean? So that's the psychological of it, like how your mind's working. So, you know, I want to talk to my dad. I wish I can have another conversation with him. You know what I mean? But you can't. But you know, you can obviously, but he's not going to talk back to you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, but to your point. So, end of 2016, I had told Tim this story. I was going through a lot, and we had talked too. And I outside in our kitchen, you can look out the window, and we have a street light, and the street light had been just flickering for at least 6-8 months. I mean, the thing was just flickering; it was dim all the time, and. So it was that night, the lights were out and stuff. I just went to the kitchen to get a drink, and I saw the light, and I just said, Dad, if you're out there, I need help. Just give me a sign. The light went out like that. And I was just thinking it, and I'm like, all right, that's a coincidence. But I went and I told Sam, like, I'm like, you're not gonna believe this, but I thought it mentally, and the light went out. So she's like, wow, okay, And then, so I was in there in the bedroom talking for like 5 minutes. I go back out. The light is back on, and it's brighter than it's ever been, and it hasn't flickered since. It's been like on for over a year. Like, and there was obviously no utility truck came in 5 minutes and fixed it. And
you got to look at things like that, man. Yeah, but those things make you feel good.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Because
that's a sign that like I'm connecting. So is it a coincidental thing?
Yeah.
I don't know.
We don't know. Yeah. But we'd like to believe that.
Yeah, you're going to know. Of course. It makes you feel good.
Yeah. It's funny, too, because my dad was a big Cardinals fan, and he liked Cardinals, the birds in general, too. So he liked the baseball team and the actual birds. But anytime I see a Cardinal fly by or whatever, it's like, boop, it'll do fly by right in front, So, yeah. It's
so, like, sometimes like, Tyson will be like, Dad, I had a catch with Grampy last night. I'm like, that's awesome, dude.
Wow.
Like, say things like that. Like, I more when he was younger, not so much current, but like, and they always say like younger, you have like innocent soul, like nothing's corrupted you yet. As a youngster, like you have that clean slate, so you're more free to accept things. Yeah. And whereas now, like the older you get, the more fucking shit we get in our society and stuff coming at us, and the negative, and it's all negative, and sometimes that negative blocks out some of the positive coming in. So like but it was cool to hear him say that, and like he'll make references like I'm scoring a goal today for Grampy, and like I scored that goal because of Grampy, and things like that. So it's awesome, man.
It's awesome.
That. So just keep that spirit alive.
Yeah, my son's always I was like, do you think after a game or whatever, do you think, or I'll tuck him in at night, and he's like, do you think Papa saw the game or whatever? And Papa saw it, and, but my oldest has a tough time. My youngest asks a lot of questions, but my oldest is, unless he brings it up, it's like if somebody else brings it up, he'll, tears, and he leaves the room. It's like it's tough for him. 'Cause, he had the most time with my dad when when he was alive. So, that's tough.
Yeah, for sure.
But so. I like to take it slow. I mean, that's such a it's just powerful too. Like when you told me the story, it's
right.
Definitely especially with what's going on. It's like we're always just hustling and just and I it's kind of a message to say, hey, at least the way I interpret, because I feel like it's we struggle, and it's life is so busy, and just everything like you said is coming in at you, and it's like if we were to just slow down, and just like everything's going to work out the way it's supposed to work out, and if we just kind of, but it's easier said than done, but it's the journey that I know I'm on now. It's the less I resist or push against things, better things kind of come into my life now.
Right.
You know, it's
I think too, like, you got to breathe.
yeah.
You know what I mean? That's a big thing. And I'd say probably, as past couple of months, I just really, like, anytime I get, like, frustrated or someone cuts you off, like, it's just reactive. You're reactive. You tighten up, and it's just like, it's got to breathe. You got to breathe through it, and it's kind of like, if you breathe, you take a deep breath, relax, how good do you feel?
Yeah.
Like, just kind of just clears you. So, like, I think, like, if you're not clear and you're not operating clearly, you have all this negative in your head and you're thinking different negative things all the time, that you're never going to be able to get ahead. You're never going to be able to go on your journey and go down the path. So, but, I mean, those are things that are, I think, important that a lot of people don't do. Like, everything is just so fast, like, so fast paced. That's the lifestyle we live in. You go on vacation, go to an island, everything's slow, everything's just chilled out. But, like, why can't we bring that same mentality back? But everything's a race because everyone keeps pushing. Like, you want to make that money. I want to make more money. You want to make more money. Yeah, we all do.
Yeah.
But how? How do you do it? Well, stop. Just relax. And I tell myself that every day about being an entrepreneur, being a businessman. Like, you're always, I got 6 employees. I got to pay them. I got kids. I got a house. You're like, you know the deal.
Yeah. It's
But it's that process of being able to, accept everything. And I think really, like, it falls twofold, like, where, you got to have that healthy lifestyle. You got to have that balance. You got to be able to work out. You got to be able to meditate. You got to do your yoga. You got to do whatever's good for you. Your routine every day is awesome. Like, those are things that make you feel good. And those are, stress relievers in whichever way you could do it. I think like more people should do it. Like, just unleash. Like, everyone has hectic days. Everyone's always, like, on the move. I don't think anyone has a good day every day. I don't know.
No.
I don't
know.
know.
Yeah.
Like,
True.
Yeah.
So it's
Tony Robbins, you think no?
The Dalai
No.
Lama.
Yeah.
like, I don't care how much money you have.
Yeah.
Like, all that stuff, man.
Yeah.
Like, but it's just, again, like, just reverse back to, like, just being able to, like, take in and just let it out. And I'm no expert. I'm not, like, I'm learning every day and practicing. I think you got to practice. It's like you practice your sport. You got to practice on your life and like, practice on, like, how to be good, be a good father, be a good, husband, whatever it is. So.
Yeah, no,
take it slow, one step at a time.
Yeah,
try to change overnight.
Yeah.
Like that.
It's a marathon, man. I run sprints. I don't like long distance running.
Okay.
But your life is a marathon.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's a long race. It's a long journey. And, like, I like running sprints. So it's just like,
it's a battle. You're
and that's what I'm like.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm trying to work with. And a lot of people are like that. They want it quick, but, like, again, it's just about digesting and taking in, like, everything around you. And then when I hit you up a couple of weeks ago, it's just like, I know what you guys are doing, and I love it. And it's just like, dude, I got to get on there, man. I got to get my boy up, man. I want to get on and, like, kind of just talk and, do this. But
like I said, it's like you were on the list 8 months ago. So when I don't know if at first I thought, hey, he might be kidding around, but you're on my list, man. So
I wouldn't kid around.
yeah. So do you have a routine that you stick to, or you
like,
try to do it?
I was out to dinner. I haven't seen a good friend in probably like 5 years, and went out, grabbed some dinner, and he's a big workout guy. And we were talking, he's like, dude, tell me about your routine. I'm like, I don't have one, dude.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But, like, I work out, obviously, but, like, there's nothing, like, I want a routine. I want to be able to, like, I don't go to a gym. Obviously, I own a gym. I own gyms, but, like, it's very difficult for me to go in there and do a solid routine for me. So, like, for me personally, I have a kettlebell at my house, and I'll do a kettlebell workout. I'll do things like that. I try and eat well. I'm not perfect. And no one's perfect.
No one is.
Don't tell me you're perfect. I don't care, dude. Like, don't, like, maybe for a week, 2 weeks, maybe you're perfect, but, like, no, and it's very difficult to be that way. But again, you're just trying to be conscious of it. And we talked about Joe Rogan. Joe Rogan says, I brush my teeth every day. I work out every day just like I brush my teeth. You wake up every morning, you're gonna brush your teeth, right?
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna wake up, I gotta work out, whatever it is. And for me, like, I could do, again, I was just saying, like, sprinting, but, like, I'll go do a sprint workout and I'll be done in 20 minutes and I'll kick my ass.
Yeah,
and I feel awesome.
Yep.
And, like, I'll do something like that, like, track is right in my backyard, so I'll just like jog the track, do a track workout, go home. You know, so it's just I do something every day.
Yeah.
You know, I'll work out with my clients. I do stuff every day, but like I wish I had a routine like yours or something. You know, where like I can really focus myself, like waking up every day, and I think I'm getting there. Like, you know, so I'm up at 4:30 every morning, and I'm going to like help other people, like teach boot camp classes for other people.
Yeah.
You know, it's a grind. It's rise and grind, right?
Yeah.
But it's. So, but again, that's the path that I chose to take, and
and
can't change. You know, it's whatever. It's what we're doing right now.
Yeah.
So,
and do you incorporate any type of like meditation or anything like that into it? Or?
Yeah. So it's funny you say like I try and meditate. I mean, I'm good for one a day, and I'm trying to do 2 a day, a morning, and I got frustrated with a fellow the other day. I turned them off. But it definitely helps me, man. It definitely, I think it's good. And I do it 5 minutes. I don't think I'm trying to work my way up where you can go longer. But, like, I feel good with just, like, a 5-minute meditation where it just clears my head. Because I'm the type of guy, like, if I'm sitting, I feel guilty.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? I got to be doing something productive. We're doing something productive right now.
Yeah, this is productive. Yeah. Just stay here for a couple hours.
Yeah, right. So, but, again, like, it's just those things where, like, you know, I got to be moving. It's just my personality. But, like, if I can take that 5 minutes or even, like, 10, I think I did a 10 last week. But, you know, if you can take that and just, you know, I go on YouTube. There's an app.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of different things. So, but, you know, do you guys meditate?
Yeah. Definitely.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, yeah. So I meditate, but I use some of the YouTube.
I like the self-guided. I lose myself if I try and do it myself.
Yeah.
Same here.
Yeah.
I've been doing Joe Dispenza has a couple on YouTube, and I'll do that too. It depends.
So, yeah. Sometimes I just like that it's not study music, but it's like a different frequency, you know. And it's just more to
like aliens talking to you. No, I'm kidding.
it actually, I told Sam, I'm like, this would be this, if you're in outer space, this would be like a cool sound to, you know, all the time. But yeah, it's just a monotone kind of just vibration music, and I just close my eyes and try and not think anything, which is hard to do.
Right.
It's not
very difficult to bring yourself to that, like, you know, just chilled out part, man. Just kind of like, you know, I like the fact where, like, you can actually feel your breath going through your body, man. Like, you can really get down with it and stuff. So I like that. So
I know your sister's kind of on that trajectory too. Like, she does the meditation and stuff.
Yeah, she does. She's big with that. She acupuncture and does.
She does that too. Yeah.
Not personally does, but she takes it. She gets it. But yeah, she's a life coach. I made that mention too. So she's very into that. She's vegan, cooks all of her own meals and stuff. So. But yeah, it's
a lifestyle. Yeah.
It is. And she has her kids on that, and her kids are healthy, and they like it.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah.
How old are her kids?
11 and 8.
That's tough to do at that age, you know.
They're bought in. They got it. So
wow. Yeah.
I don't think they have a choice, but
yeah.
No, but it's good though. Like, I think you hear all the stuff nowadays. You know, it's just like, you know, you always hear like, you know, like the gluten intolerance and stuff and all that, but like, you know, you hear people that go to Italy and say, like, you know, I'm gluten intolerant and I ate a loaf of bread and I felt awesome. But it's the additives and all the preservatives that we're putting into it. Yeah, the GMOs, that, like, all the junk that's going into, like, the production of this stuff. And it's like, that's why, like, you know, over in Europe and these other countries, they don't have this stuff. They don't, you know, it's just, there's no regulation really.
Well, you were telling me that the candy in Europe, our candy is brighter because of the dye, right?
Yeah. So sometimes we'll have some European colleagues come over, and they're always surprised at the color of the gummy bears, and
they're so bright.
They're so bright because those dyes are illegal in Europe.
But it's funny. Like we'll get European food shit. Like in Christmas, some coworkers, they'll do like a candy swap or whatever. So we'll get the European candy, and then we'll send over some American candy. And I'm like, I don't particularly care for it, and but it's healthier for you, right? You know, our candies taste better because it's loaded with, you know, more shit. Yeah. Do you want to give the name of your new location and your
so we're in ATI. So it's ATI Future Fitness at ATI. It's 14 Alcat Bridge in Cromwell. It's right off exit 21. It's real convenient. And then our other location is 300 Alumni Road inside the Newington Arena.
Oh, cool.
Nice.
So, yeah, we're right behind Newington High School and stuff. So.
Yeah, so Tim's already gonna bring his son over there.
Let's go.
Get him going.
Yeah, my wife's from Newington. She grew up there, so
Yeah.
we'll be there.
All right. Awesome.
What's your son's baseball?
Right now it's baseball.
Baseball.
So
He's like basketball too, or
he
what's
likes basketball, baseball, and soccer. So,
Awesome.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Pete's gonna set him up with a
program.
All right,
and
good.
10 pounds of muscle on him.
Cool.
awesome, Pete. Well, hey, this was a great time, and
Not a good time, man. Thanks for having me on here.
yeah, always a pleasure seeing you, and appreciate you coming on the show, and definitely have you back, and
Sure.
yeah, this was great.
All right, man.
Awesome.
Thank you, guys. I appreciate it.
Godspeed, man.
Yes, sir.
Take care.